That might be it. Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Today we are going to be painting up Bilbo Baggins, or as I like to call him, Kill Bros Baggum. And this is the model. I primed him early this morning. And we're also going to be unboxing my Lady Malice from RTLW. I think in celebration of the Lady Malice that has just come out or been revealed. Show what the RTL version looks like. So let's actually get to that first. I ordered the Lady Malice with the decorative base. So I gotta double check what size base it's gonna be sitting on. I think it's a 40 millimeter base, but you can see that it has slots for the raid master as well as one of the slaves or the pets, and the other slave I think is gonna be sitting there. And I decided to go with the option of having my Lady Malice holding her fan out. And yeah, look, I have the alien creature. So I guess I could use the alien creature as well as one of the two male slaves. I don't know if I want to have her with both male slaves. But the male slaves here, they're actually not gonna get me demonetized. The female slaves are like naked, they're topless, which normally I think is awesome. But for YouTube monetization, this is what the male slaves are gonna look like. I'm just gonna do like a brief, I don't think I'm even gonna unbag them. Just show the different sculpts. Can you see their butt cheeks? Ew, butt cheeks. Yeah, I guess because he's sitting. And then the decorative base has, you can either do a helmet, or I decided to go for the chalice. Here, so it sits like that. Paint that gold. If you want to get fancy, you could do some like resin in there to simulate wine or blood. And then, yeah, I'm going to be definitely building up this Lady Malice doing a proper, I think her name is like Malys, Malys or something. I'm gonna go with the big dreadnought, or not dreadnought, the dreadlocks wig, and the fan pointing forward. And then one of these torsos has a very nice looking bodice, or like corset. So that's the one I want to use, rather than like the more armored Cabalite warrior segmented looking one. And then here's the little alien creature. Look at the detail on those spines and this little body. Looks great. Then here is the bottom torso and the leg, which is gonna slot in, oops, right over here. And RTLW makes really nice boutique resin, really fine resin. And a lot of people say like, well, it's just really expensive. You should just 3D print, take it to a printer, look on Etsy. And the quality of the resin for the RTL stuff is almost as nice as plastic. Like the detail is really clean. You don't have a lot of weird posts. There's some flash you have to clip away, but I mean, it looks really smooth and really clean. There's some mold lines I can see, but I'm very pleased with how it looks. This is the body that I'm gonna use. It's like a party dress corset for the Dark Eldar, or the Drukhari with a little collar there. You could also use to this one. I don't know, maybe I will go with the battle corset, the segmented looking one. They're both pretty impressive. Wobble wobble. And then this is the big hair that I want to go with. I'm thinking of like painting it in like a light blue, something different from what you would normally imagine to be a Dark Eldar. And let's look at the faces. Here's the big hair face. Oops. Then the other face that you're gonna attach the ponytail to, if you don't use whichever you don't use, I like that you can just keep in your bits box and use it for something else, because these heads are very impressive and they are a special character. This is the other one. Lady Malice, that's right, Brett McKnight from RTLW. Link is in the video description if you want to check it out yourself. RTLW is going through their big autumn sale right now, so everything is to 15% off. And with the big announcement of the Lady Malice for shop, I thought, well, let's take a look at this one that I had never done anything with. So she's got two ways of holding her fan. One is up in front of her face, kind of like hiding her face. And the other one, which I think is a little bit more impressive, she's holding it out in front of her. And she's also got this arm where she's holding out a snake as it's about to lunge. The detail on that looks pretty nice. So I'm gonna have to go and figure out what, here, this is the one. So here's the one where she's holding it in front of her face, and here's the one where she's holding her arm out, and the fan is like down and in front of her. Beautiful sculpts. RTLW really knows what they're doing. They've done their homework. They've said, okay, what does Games Workshop offer? How can we create something that's visually very similar, but give it our own stamp? And at the time when I bought this a couple years ago, there was no Lady Malice miniature, you know what I mean? So she was in the lore with her fan of poison blades, but Games Workshop didn't have anything except in the codex. So I thought I want to pick one up rather than the standard raid master, which I already had one, like a male raid master I was going to build up with female slaves. And I just thought that this would look pretty nice. Have a Lady Malice figure with the fans, the fan of the poison blades. All right, let's put that away now that we know that I've got it, and I'm gonna be researching the size of the base and how I'm gonna build it up. I'm probably gonna build it separately. I don't wanna make everybody sit through the construction phase of it, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what the finished product of that looks like. Because that's more fun to see what it looks like all built up than to sit through the actual fiddling with the super glue and getting super glue everywhere and all of that stuff. All right, how are you guys doing? We are looking at 12 out of 20 memberships. If we can get up to 20 channel memberships by the end of the stream, that would be really great. I would really love that. And what I'm gonna be doing to help nudge the needle towards that 20 is I'm gonna be painting up another of this RTLW Brotherhood of the Nine set. Here we've got our Gandalf, our Albus Grey, Inquisitor Albus Grey. You could use this as a Imperial Agents inquisitorial warband for Warhammer 40k if you are so inclined, or just paint them up to collect them because I think they look absolutely amazing. And I'm going to be painting up Bilbo Baggins, or at least that's who I think this next miniature is supposed to be. What's funny was when I was looking at all of the faces to decide what I'm going to paint them as, the one I'm going to show you in a second, let me just even out this color here. The one that I chose as Bilbo actually looks a lot like Martin Freeman. If they aged him up a little bit, they made him a little bit older, and they made him look a little bit chunkier and a little bit more like Ian Holm. It's almost as if they took Ian Holm and Martin Freeman, put them together. So it's a really amazing looking model, and I'm going to be painting him. So the artwork, if you look at the costumes for this miniature, is actually for Martin Freeman. I can see a little bit flash now that I'm actually looking at him under the zoom. So let me clean him up a little bit. He's wearing like gray trousers, or not gray, brown trousers. And his vest is like a drab looking green, and then his shirt is white and his jacket is red. So I'm going with the Bilbo Baggins from The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey, because I think that's the closest looking to him before he gets all geared up for war in the later movies. So I'm going to be using Steel Legion drab for his trousers. And again, this is from the RTLW kit that I've linked in the description of many of my recent videos. I actually think I linked the Lady Malice miniature for this live stream, but if you take the link in the video description, head over to that Lady Malice one and just look for the Brotherhood of the Nine. I will still get my affiliate credit for it, which is awesome and which will help support my studio. So if you decide to purchase these, I've been getting a lot of comments too saying that, oh yeah, you should just go on Etsy and get 3D prints of these. But I don't know, like I said before with the Lady Malice stuff, I really think that the quality of these miniatures is really top notch, and like the fact that I can so easily paint them makes me really happy. All right, for the vest, I'm gonna do Lauren Forest. Lauren Forest is a layer paint. So ideally you would use like another green paint first to act as like the base coat. But because I'm using a Skull White, Games Workshop Skull White primer, I think the paint's gonna go on pretty easily. And I don't have to worry too much about it spreading and creating an unsightly like wash finish. His shirt, Martin Freeman's shirt in the movie is white, so we're gonna leave his shirt white. Now we're gonna move on to Doombo Brown. Yep, Brett, they are pretty slick, they're pretty clean. I think they look really good. All right, Doombo Brown for his jacket. Echo, volume down. It's so fun because now that I'm looking to research and make my halfling sharpshooters, I think is what they're called on the website, make them as authentic movies as possible. I'm looking up a lot of old past costume shots, publicity photos, lots of old photos of the original cast from the movies. And it's really taking me back. It's making me want to watch the series again. The director's cut, of course. Again, this is Doombo Brown on a white primer. Let me paint a little bit more of this Steel Legion drab. Hope you're all doing well out there wherever you are. Thank you for finding this channel. If you happen to come across me while just doom scrolling and you're not aware of who I am, my name is Warboss Taya. I'm a painter of many Warhammer things. I've been posting here on YouTube since 2009, and I'm working currently on the Brotherhood of the Nine set from RTLW Miniatures. These are resin figures by a company called RTLW that produce very beautiful miniatures that you can game with if you want. I'm painting them more just to look as nice as I can make them. Make them like art pieces if I can. Because my goal is to share them with you guys and gals and then try to sell them on eBay and get a pretty penny for them. So I want to be as clean and as slick as possible. It also helps me as an artist to be as precise and to produce as fine quality work as I can. And that is why I do what I do. I'm trying to make a living on YouTube. I'm trying to make a go of it, as they say. And so having your support really means a lot to me and helps to make it a lot easier to fulfill my dreams of being a successful independent YouTuber. All right, now my goal was, my plan, what I was thinking of doing was painting Steel Legion drab, or painting Mornfang brown for this backpack. Oh, that might have changed, looking at it now. Resin has come a long way since Finecast. Oh boy. Raven Overlord, what is up, brother? How you doing? Raven Overlord in the house. Finecast was I think it was like a 70-30 split for me. 70% chance that I would find something wrong with it, like the bubbles. I'm thinking more of like the mold shifts where the entire model looks like slightly shifted up. So even when you scrape away at the mold line and get rid of it, it's still just a big mess. All right, I'm gonna paint his rifle in Corvus Black. If you'd like to support my work here on YouTube, as much as I would love to get a super chat from you, a one-time super chat is not nearly as rewarding in my experience as if you were to become a channel member, because I actually offer benefits to my channel members, like extra videos, early access to all of my content, and access to all of my digital downloads on my Discord channel. So becoming a channel member for the low price of $2.99 a month. And then if you want, you can move up and support me in greater amounts for more rewards. Would really make me happy. Also, if you're not on my Discord yet, I would love to have you join it. So come on down and click on the link in the description. Join my Discord. It's absolutely free, and you get access to my entire community of amazing, wonderful, supportive fellow hobbyists out there. And they will help you any way they can. We really do have such a great, supportive Discord community for my Discord. Alicia, oh, the 85K Orc collection, dude. Bad financial decisions of bad financial decisions. It's reared his head. It's come around. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dull down this jacket with a Galvor back red. Yeah, I just cracked open the pot. I think over a white primer, this color, this Galvor back red, is a little bit closer to the dark red that Bilbo's character was wearing in the first Hobbit movie, at least in the beginning of the journey. So it's funny, when I try to look at the old publicity photos or the costume pictures, a lot of times it's a little tricky to nail down the color because it looks different colors in different lights. And I want to really be as movie accurate as I can. Galvor back red has a little bit of a dark purple to it. It's not exactly burgundy, like straight red burgundy. Ron Burgundy. It'll serve its purpose. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. It's tricky. I'm used to, for many, many years, I primed in gray. And now that I'm working off of a white primer, it's a little different. How am I doing? I'm doing great, sir. How are you this fine evening? I'm doing very well, thank you. Just to remind you all, I'm a father first and foremost before anything else. So if I hear my baby start screaming and I have to go and join them or leave to take care of them, then it's going to be quite sudden and it might be jarring, especially if you step away to get a snack or something, I don't know. So if that happens, I promise I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible, but it might happen where I'm going to have to leave you, and I would hate to do that, especially like if I'm in the groove of painting, but family stuff has to come first. You guys know how it is. How's the mini? The mini is great. I put a little too much. I got it in the ferrule of my brush here. So Martin Freeman Hobbit is gonna need, I'm gonna have to wash my brush really well for a second before I can get back to him. I'm looking for my Mournfang Brown to do his backpack. He's talking about how much I love the old Hobbit movies, Fellowship of the Ring movies. They're just such great cinema, the likes of which we have not seen since then. I really do think this sculpt looks like they took Martin Freeman and Ian Holm, who played Bilbo Baggins in The Lord of the Rings, and they just like composited and blended their faces together. He looks a little bit older. He doesn't look as, like, even Martin Freeman in the first Hobbit movie looked not as old. He's got some chops too. Look at those sideburns. Oh, how's the mini war boss? I got you. Yeah. Great. The children are great. They're sleeping soundly for now. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, that they will continue to sleep soundly long into the night, at least until I finish Kilbro's Baggins here. Oh, I'm getting the signal right now from my producer, Igor. He used to just be my cameraman, but he's been going to school. He's been taking classes. He's been bettering himself, self-improvement, especially during the pandemic. And now he's promoted himself from cameraman to producer. He's telling me that I have to promote my channel membership. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a quick break to pay the bills. Hey everybody, have you ever thought that you love watching Warboss Tay's live streams and you wish you could support him, but you didn't know how? Well, guess what? You can become a channel member for the low, low price of at least $2.99 a month. Of course, you can support with higher paid tiers and unlock greater rewards and benefits. And becoming a member of the Warboss channel, becoming a channel member, not only supports Warboss Tay and all of his little mini Warboss brood, but also helps to keep me at the table, keep me painting, and supports my hobby, but also supports me as an artist. And so I hope you will consider, if you are enjoying my live streams and my videos and my silly memes, if you become a channel member, you will have access to my silly memes as soon as I publish them. Usually I publish them all at least a week in advance. But if you are a channel member, you will be able to see everything that I produce. And I actually have 3 children. So I've got my mini boss, my young, strapping young lad, and I've got 2 beautiful daughters. So they're all sleeping soundly right now. So we're gonna cross our fingers that they continue to sleep soundly so I can finish painting Kilbro Baggins right here. Anyways, thanks a lot for listening to this little paid announcement. The goal for us is we want to get our channel memberships to jump up from 12 to 20, and we just want to keep raising the bar and raising that goal. And hopefully, if I can get good enough to earn your support as a channel member, then I think the goal eventually to keep me like sustained on YouTube, like my ultimate goal would be to get 500, the lofty goal of 500 channel subscriptions at the $2.99 a month level would help allow me to continue producing high quality content and keep me in the hobby table and not have to go away. So thanks for listening to that. Now let's get back to the action. I'm trying to find, got my flayed one flesh for my skin tone highlight, but I wanted to do a Mornfang brown belt and backpack. Can't seem to find the color that I need. The Baneblade is like one of my favorite miniatures as a vehicle. I think the composition of it is just so done. All right, found it. Perfect. Warhammer made me too broke to do it. Trust me, 85K or collection. I don't know, Licio. I hear so much about this. I'm so in awe of it. I might need to see the receipts on that. I might need you to hop on into the Discord and show off some of your $85,000 orc collection, because boy, I can't even fathom what that would look like. You gotta be on. Are you on my Discord, Elizio? You gotta be. All right, here we go. I think I'm gonna go with a dark leather strap for the rifle and a light leather strap for, or like a Mornfang brown leather strap for the backpack. Broken in heart. Anyways, I'm gonna go now. Thanks, Raven Overlord, for having a good time hanging out with us. Hope the kids stay good and hope the mini goes well. Appreciate it. If you're I would think you're subscribed to me, to my channel on YouTube. So I'll post like a photo update as when I wrap up tonight, so you can see. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get this guy done. He's finished, and we can move on with the next one. Hey, Happy Shorts, welcome, welcome. I was like, I don't think I need I don't need a silver, like a lead belcher, but I actually do. He's got a belt buckle. So let me finish painting this backpack first. I don't know what this, what is this hanging in his backpack? Is this Sting? It looks like yeah, it looks like Sting. It's like a sheathed weapon. I will get back to the bedroll. I think I'm gonna repaint in Xandri Dust, a little lighter colored. It's actually the same recipe that I use for my Deathcore of Krieg backpacks and sleeping rolls. For the backpack itself, oh, Cadians too. The backpack itself is Mournfang Brown. The sleeping roll is Xandri Dust. He's got Sting though in a little scabbard here. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna paint up Sting. This is always the part where it's the ugly phase. Welcome to the stream, Happy Shorts. I was dealing with this with my Gandalf, or my Inquisitor Albus Grey. You just have to keep reminding yourself that the paint's gonna dry, you're gonna move on to the washes, and then everything is gonna change. Once you get to the washes section, it's all gonna change. Right, XV88, that's also a nice color. XV88 for the leather. I'm looking for a nice, soft Xandri Dust for the bedroll. Never fails. Here, Rakeland Flesh Shade, gonna need that. All right, sorry everybody. I know like the most annoying sound in the world is digging around a bunch of paints. I was actually not thinking that I would get to this guy tonight, so you know what? If I cannot find, which I don't think I can find, my Xandri Dust, I'm gonna go with Rakarth Flesh for the sleeping roll, and then I'll just paint it down. I made the mistake of getting this Mournfang Brown onto the sleeping roll. It's just gonna cause some headache, wet blending right here. All right, should be good. I think for the scabbard, for Sting, I'm gonna go with a black, Corvus black again. I was thinking I just keep it like close to the leather colors, but I think it's not gonna, it's gonna blend too much. gonna get lost. So we'll do black, Corvus black, and then I might darken it down. Can't really, yeah, you can't really see it. Okay, he looks really sunburned. He looks really bad, so I'm gonna have to lighten up his face a little bit. So I'm gonna use Cadian Flesh Tone, and I'm gonna have my Flayed One Flesh on the side, ready to go, ready to mix in. I'm using an Army Painter wet palette to do to have my paints mixed next to me so that they're thinned down. And I think we'll just do a little bit further, a little bit more, and then we'll see how it turns out. And then I might have to call it. But I think I can get to the end of this, get some basing down. He's got some leather shooting gloves, so we'll also highlight those. I love painting faces. They're like simultaneously the most fun and relaxing and rewarding things to do, and also the most frustrating, especially if you find yourself in the phase of diminishing returns where you're starting to make mistakes and you're trying to clean it up and it's not going the way you want it to. Now he looks a little ashy. Hobbits with guns. That's right. This is Kilbro Baggins. He's one of the miniatures from the RTLW Brotherhood of the Nine set. And I'm doing them in chronological order. So I painted Albus Grey, the Gandalf Inquisitor character here, and then I'm going to be going in order of the movies. So I'm doing Bilbo tonight, and then when I wrap up with him, I'm going to go to who did Gandalf meet next? Frodo, then Samwise, then Pippin and Merry, and then throughout the first movie he met, I think Aragorn was first, right? Aragorn, and then there was the Council of Elrond, so we'll finish with Legolas and Gimli and Boromir. Can't forget Boromir. If you guys want to support my channel, if you're just doom scrolling around and you've never heard of me before, then I would love to have you support me here on YouTube. You can subscribe, and you could also become a channel member and get access to a bunch of extra perks that way. All right, we're going to do a little bit more, and then I'm going to have to call it, folks, because I've got some other stuff going on tonight. But I want to finish, if I can, get him a little bit more rosy cheeked, get him a little bit more ready for battle. Another buckle up here. I also need time for this Mournfang Brown to paint, so I might not get to the end. In fact, I'm probably not. But just want to say thank you for joining me here tonight. Appreciate it. We'll do I think we'll get to the shades, the Agrax Earth Shade wash to tie everything down. Yep, they're from a company called RTLW Miniatures. RTLW produces these resin figures that you can use for other games like Warhammer 40K. I think these are meant to be used as rattling snipers. Thanks, Rubber, appreciate it. They're meant to be like rattling snipers for an Inquisitor Imperial Agents kill team, I think, since you've got the Inquisitor here. Could really use them for anything though, right? It's up to you. I think this guy looks so much like if they took Martin Freeman and Ian Holm and combined them together. He looks a little portly to be just Martin Freeman in the Hobbit movies, but he's not. looking too much like Ian Holm as well. I think he looks pretty like down the middle there. All right, and everything is gonna fix itself up in the washes. So we're gonna give it 1 more minute to dry. I'm gonna paint the base. And the last thing we're gonna do before I wrap up is try to give him a little bath of Agrax Earthshade. So subscribe to my channel if you're not already. You can see how I get on with the rest of the hobbits and the protectors in this kit. I'm also going to be revisiting some Drukhari-like miniatures that I painted from Artel W. I've got a ton of Artel W Drukhari miniatures to coincide with the Games Workshop. Reveals from today. And yeah, we'd love to have you be here along for the ride. Okay, we're going to quickly paint up the base, and then I'm gonna do an Agrax Earthshade wash, and then we can see how that looks before we get out of here. I like to use, if you're new to my channel, then you don't know this, I like to use craft store black paint, Liquitex, or anything you can get in a huge tube for a cheap, low price, because it's just as black as Abaddon Black or anything else that Games Workshop sells as like a black paint. It's dark, it's like pure black, and you just get so much of it. Whereas with any of their other potted paints, you're paying what, $7, and you're getting like this much Agrax, or this much Abaddon Black. For $3, I got this from Walmart. This absolute juggernaut of black paint. So I highly recommend it. When you can, go out and splurge and treat yourself to some paint. All right, I think he's at the point where I'm gonna hit him with a Agrax Earthshade wash. There might still be some areas that are a little, like, not completely dried, but I think he'll be okay. In fact, just to let those areas dry a little bit more, 1 more minute, let's hit his skin with some Rakeland Flesh Shade to liven it up, give it a little bit more ruddiness. Let's start with his toes, his feet, hands, and then face. I really want to take my time with his face because Albus Grey, most of his features are covered by his gray beard and by the huge brim of his hat. So the Gandalf character, I didn't really have much face to work with. All of the hobbits, you really plainly see their faces and their expressions. So I want to give a little bit more thought and care to them. All right, now I'm gonna hit the whole miniature with Agrax Earthshade. This is gonna be the last thing I do tonight. We're at 46 minutes. I'm so happy to have gotten this far. Wasn't sure how far I'd get when I started the stream, but I'm really happy I got this far with him. When you consider he was just purely primed and white when I started this stream, it looks good. And I think he looks pretty close. If you Google Martin Freeman Hobbit Unexpected Journey, there's some promotional shots of him in his costume, and I think we nailed it, guys and gals. I think we've got the tones of the costume that I was looking for. If you're curious, the brushes that I'm using are all Golden Maple brushes. There is a curated set that is just for me and my viewers, so check it out through the links in the description. It's Golden Maple, and if you use the promo code WART, W-A-R-T, you will get 10% off of your brushes at checkout. So having the right brushes is a huge must if you are going to be painting, and being able to do fine detail work with these detail brushes really has helped me a lot. So check it out, see if you find anything you like, and don't forget to get that 10% discount with the promo code WART, W-A-R-T. How was that read, Igor? It was not bad. Sounded a little inauthentic at the end. All right, I'll work on it, thank you. All right. Now the washes always look a little sloppy when they first go on because you're waiting for them to dry, right? You don't want to have little puddles. You want to make sure that everything is going to dry nice and smooth and even. So I'm just going to double check. This is the kind of thing you don't want, where on a flat surface like his coat or Space Marine armor, you don't want the wash to pool, or else it's going to finish with an oily, unnatural puddle. So just take your brush and wick away the excess. Get in there in all the shadows, move them around. All right, that looks pretty good. I thought that was a walking stick, not a rifle. Nick the Salamander, welcome, welcome. What about the second gun? Second gun? Is there a second gun? This is his this is Sting, I believe, up here. So it's in a scabbard, which I can tell because there's this like metal cap at the end, and then it looks like the hilt over there. So we're gonna let this dry overnight. Thanks, Nick the Salamander, appreciate it very much. We're gonna let this dry overnight, come back to it once it's dry tomorrow, and get some highlights done. But yeah, this is one of the 5 halfling sharpshooters for the set. I want to just quickly show off the rest as we wrap up here tonight. This was a great stream, guys, almost an hour, and we painted up Martin Freeman / Ian Holm. He's the hobbit or the halfling that I'm going to be calling Kill Bros Baggum and Tagum. And I think he looked pretty good. This is going to be my Frodo character. I've lined them up in order of appearance. So here's Frodo. I think he's got a little bit of a younger face. So he's going to be my Frodo character. Then my pudgy guy, Samwise Gamgee, with the jowls. He kind of looks like Chris Farley, actually, now that I think about it. Got that bushy hair. He's got a little bit of a roly-poliness. So good. So great. The rest of these guys have bespoke craft, like master crafted wood grain sniper rifles. They just look terrific. Then we've got Merry and Pippin. Not sure who is who, but I think these guys look great as well. So these are all from the Brotherhood of the Nine, but these are just the halfling sharpshooters. And once I get those painted, then we're going to go in chronological order of the movies. So the next person to join Albus Gray and his little halfling sharpshooters would be Strider, the Enforcer, the Inquisitorial Enforcer, then Trooper Bloodmere, one does not simply, and then Legolas and Gimli, which I think are known as Greenleaf, the Outcast, and Gloinson. Instead of the son of Gloin, he's called Gloinson, and he's drinking a nice tankard of ale. All right, that should have been enough time to let that Agrax Earthshade dry. I want to show off our miniature one more time before we wrap up the live stream. It was great. For some reason, I doom scroll for like an hour, but then right before I cut the lights off and go to sleep, your stream shows up. Hey, silly lung. It's ridiculous that it happens almost every night. Isn't that just the way it is? It's like it saves my stream for the very end. Lets you pop in right before you go to sleep. I know how that is. Doom scroll for a while and then like I'm tired of watching people making street food in Thailand, in India. All right, he looks pretty good. Martin Freeman / Ian Holm. I'm gonna have to lighten up his skin a little bit more. He looks a little a little too sunburnt and ruddy for my tastes, but I think he's just about ready to go. I'm really pleased with him, with how he turned out. All right, guys, this is going to be the end of the video for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget, if you are not a channel member yet, we're trying to reach the goal of 20 channel members as soon as possible. And we're moving quickly to our goal of helping me to become as successful of a independent YouTuber with a small YouTube channel that I don't have to worry too much about stepping away from the table. Then I can give you guys more miniatures content, painting tutorials, live streams like tonight, all of that. I'm glad you caught the end of it too, Silly Lung. Thanks for joining, everybody. Have a great night wherever you